Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most controversial statements made by Elon Musk about Mars. From colonizing the red planet to escaping earthly catastrophes, Musk has painted a bold, even fantastical vision of our future beyond Earth. But how much of it is rooted in reality? And how much is Musk-flavored hype? Stay tuned to find out. We'll be separating the science fiction from the science fact. And frankly, when it comes to Musk, that line can get blurrier than a photo of a UFO taken with a potato. Elon Musk has often spoken about Mars as a potential backup planet for humanity, a lifeboat in case Earth faces an extinction-level event. Now, the idea of having a backup planet is undeniably appealing. It's like having a spare key hidden under a rock, but instead of your front door, it's for the entire planet. The problem is, turning Mars into Earth 2.0 isn't as simple as just showing up with a case of oxygen tanks and a positive attitude. Mars is currently about as hospitable to human life as a microwave on high power. The atmosphere is thin, the temperatures are brutal, and you're about as likely to find a breathable atmosphere as you are to find a Starbucks that doesn't misspell your name. Scientific opinions on the feasibility of terraforming Mars range from cautiously optimistic to you're having a laugh, right? It involves things like releasing greenhouse gases into the Martian atmosphere to warm the planet and potentially melt the polar ice caps to release trapped water. This, theoretically, could create a denser atmosphere and warmer temperatures. However, this all assumes a best-case scenario and ignores potential problems like the lack of a global magnetic field on Mars, which could allow solar radiation to strip away any newly formed atmosphere. Essentially, turning Mars into a viable backup planet would be a project of such immense scale and complexity that it makes building the pyramids look like assembling IKEA furniture. Elon Musk has never been shy about setting ambitious timelines, and his plans for Mars are no exception. He's talked about landing humans on Mars within this decade and establishing a self-sustaining city on the red planet shortly thereafter. Now, let's be clear, these are incredibly ambitious goals, even for someone with Musk's track record of pushing technological boundaries. It's like saying you're going to build a skyscraper in a week using only toothpicks and glue. Impressive if you can pull it off. But let's just say we're not holding our breath. Experts in space exploration and planetary science have expressed skepticism about Musk's timeline, to put it mildly. They point to the myriad technical, logistical and financial challenges that need to be overcome before humans can even think about setting foot on Mars, let alone building a city there. For starters, there's the small matter of developing a spacecraft capable of safely transporting humans to Mars and back. Then there's the issue of developing life support systems that can function reliably in the harsh Martian environment. Not to mention the logistics of supplying a Martian colony with everything from food and water to breathable air. So while Musk's optimism is admirable, it's important to view his timelines with a healthy dose of skepticism. Even if SpaceX can overcome the technical hurdles, the financial and logistical challenges are immense. Chapter 3. Terraforming Mars. Science fiction or science fact? The idea of terraforming Mars, transforming it from a cold, barren desert into a second Earth, has been a staple of science fiction for decades. Elon Musk has taken this a step further, proposing ambitious plans to terraform Mars by releasing greenhouse gases into its atmosphere. While the concept might sound like something out of a Hollywood blockbuster, the science behind it is far more complex and uncertain. On paper, the idea has some merit. Releasing large amounts of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane could trap more heat from the sun, warming the planet and potentially melting the polar ice caps. This, in turn, could lead to a denser atmosphere and the return of liquid water to the Martian surface. However, this simplified view ignores a plethora of potential issues that could derail the entire process. Firstly, the amount of greenhouse gases required is staggering. We're talking about releasing quantities that dwarf humanity's current emissions on Earth. And even then, it's not certain if it would be enough to trigger a runaway greenhouse effect that would make Mars habitable. Secondly, Mars lacks a global magnetic field, which means any newly created atmosphere is vulnerable to being stripped away by solar wind. Imagine inflating a bouncy castle in the middle of a hurricane. That's essentially what we'd be doing to the Martian atmosphere without a magnetic field to protect it. Chapter 4. The astronomical cost of Mars travel fact-checking Musk's claims. Elon Musk has boldly claimed that he can significantly reduce the cost of traveling to Mars, making it accessible to more than just astronauts and billionaires. He's even floated figures as low as $500,000 per person for a round trip, which, to be fair, is less than some luxury cars here on Earth. But before you start digging through your couch cushions for spare change, let's take a closer look at the reality behind these cost projections. Firstly, Musk's estimates often focus on the cost per launch of his Starship spacecraft, which is designed to be fully reusable. Reusability is indeed key to reducing costs in space travel. Think of it this way. Imagine having to buy a new Boeing 747 after every transatlantic flight. Ticket prices would be astronomical. However, even with reusability, the actual cost of a Mars mission involves far more than just fuel and launch costs. There's the development cost of the spacecraft itself, which is already in the billions of dollars. Then there's the cost of life support systems, habitats, rovers, and all the other equipment needed for a mission to Mars. And let's not forget the cost of training astronauts, developing in-situ resource utilization technologies, and ensuring the safety and well-being of the crew during their multi-year journey. Chapter 5. Red Planet Risks: Debunking the Myth of a Safe Mars. Elon Musk has painted a vision of humans living on Mars, thriving in self-sustaining colonies, and perhaps even terraforming the planet into a second Earth. While this utopian vision is certainly alluring, it's crucial to acknowledge the harsh realities and potential dangers that come with living on a planet as unforgiving as Mars. Firstly, the Martian atmosphere is incredibly thin and offers virtually no protection from the sun's harmful radiation. This means that prolonged exposure on the surface without adequate shielding could lead to increased cancer risks, radiation sickness, and other health problems. Imagine living under a giant X-ray machine with the dial permanently set to high, not exactly conducive to a long and healthy life. Then there's the issue of Martian dust. This isn't your average dust bunny situation. Martian dust is fine, abrasive, and potentially toxic. It can clog machinery, contaminate habitats, and pose respiratory hazards to humans. It's like living in a constant sandstorm, except the sand is trying to give you lung disease and break your space rover. And let's not forget the psychological challenges of living in a confined environment, millions of miles away from Earth, with limited social interaction and the constant threat of equipment failure or unforeseen emergencies. Mars or myth? The final verdict? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates. Let us know in the comments what you think about Elon Musk's Mars plans. Look, it's clear that Elon Musk has a grand vision for humanity's future on Mars. And while his ambition and drive are admirable, it's crucial to separate the hype from the reality. Colonizing Mars is not simply a matter of building bigger rockets and selling tickets to space. It's a monumental undertaking that will require overcoming a vast array of technical, financial, and ethical challenges. Ultimately, the question isn't whether humans will ever set foot on Mars, but rather when and under what circumstances.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.